Eh! Love him for it. Do. Love him. Drives me freaking... He's too smart. He's too smart. He's too freaking smart, man. I can't stay ahead of the dog. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I keep meeting Heyoka everywhere I go. It's kind of cool. I went to a new store the other day because I had a fit at Albertsons and they're stupid. Just, you know what? It's all about who you know. You know? If you look a certain way, or you act a certain way, or you know, are related, or there's all these little things that get people out of doing what everybody else is doing. And I don't want to get out of doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. Because just the stupid stuff that people keep asking me to do. This mask stuff is just out of hand. It's been over a year. What's the next big thing? Somebody quick make something else up quick so we can just at least shift the narrative. Because this one, I feel like it's on one of those old cartoons where the background just goes over and over and over and over. Guess what? I should be careful what I wish for, because astrologies are so potent, and all the swinging wieners are getting in gear, so... Cue made-up military conflict. Haven't had one of those, you know, of sustenance in a while, so... You know, empty out those missile sheds so production go back into filling them up. It's all a freaking stupid waste. Somebody said they liked what I called this talk. The world has been ending since I was born. I was afraid of everything when I was a little girl. And I did stuff anyway. Because somewhere along the way somebody said you gotta be brave, and sometimes you gotta do stuff you don't want to do. Sometimes it's gonna be scary, but you gotta do it anyway. So, it's kind of what I did. I just always kind of pushed past my fear and just did whatever I was afraid of anyway. And it got me places. It did. It did. It worked into my advantage. Well, what I found out along the way is everything is BS. It's all BS. Everything that anybody has ever told me is like, aside from how they feel. Well, no, a lot of times people share how they feel, and that's BS too. There's not a lot of authenticity on this planet, man. People are so busy trying to be one person, but really inside they're in behind closed doors they're entirely different. And it's old. It's old. People see right through it. Now more and more people are becoming empath. You know? So you can't... We're like freaking human lie detectors. If we don't call you out, it's because you don't matter to us. And we just won't know you anymore. That's what it comes down to. So, yeah, I remember when I was in junior high, we had to do reports, you know. We had to do an invention, something that was going to keep the ozone layer from shrinking, because the ozone layer was deteriorating. So I came up with deodorant and a pump. Aerosol, instead of aerosol, deodorant and a pump. Got like a D on it. And that was before it was Arid, I think, came out with it first. I'm like, oh, look what they did. Huh. I got good ideas. They just happen at the wrong time, and the right people don't ever see them. It's not that I don't have them. You know, I know the power in which God has given me and the Creator has given me to create and add things to this world, even if the things that I add to this world are just freaking perspective. I don't care if people agree with me. I'm freaking snarky. I'm salty. I'm cantankerous. I'm ornery. some days I'm just a total dickhead. I don't want people to think that I'm like, oh, people have said that, oh, you think you're just a spiritual being. A spiritual being is full spectrum, and there's shadow in us too. It's what we do with it. I've been doing sets. Every time I start, because Scorpio moon, I am Scorpio moon. I love this energy. Other people don't like it. But I really want, but like the potency for escapism is really big right now. It's huge right now because people don't like the reality. So people they want to do anything they can to just change things, right? So, whenever I start feeling, there's barbell, little dumbbells under the stairs. So I've been doing set. I go in and do set. 25 this way, 25 this way, 25 this way, whatever kind of way. I do 4 sets of 25. And then I go on about my day. And if I get in my head and I start getting worked up, or if I start like getting loud where, or negative or any of that low vibrational, I've been doing sets. And now it's funny because when I started it, I'm just doing it to get all this out of me. But now I'm actually starting to see like the physical benefits of doing those sets. When I was in the Air Force, they made me go work out. See, I don't know, I'm short, but I'm like stocky, and my body build was a nightmare. They put me on I had to go to the gym. I would run on the cross trainer on level 10 for an hour every morning from 5 to 6 a.m. at Offutt Air Force Base. And I'd have to walk by this sign that they put up. Here the Enola Gay was modified to drop the bomb on Hiroshima. I know there's some people that believe that don't exist, but that ain't my timeline. I believe that exists, and that because these swinging wieners got to play with their toys, and that's all these bombs and stuff are. They're all just toys, It's just an exclusive group and club of who gets to play with these toys, and these guys aren't smart enough to. They pay people to tell them what they want to hear, not what's good for them. So, I don't trust their science. And since when did freaking public business owners get to freaking just make rockets and like litter the atmosphere with all their failed attempts? That muskrat guy, he's letting himself go. He's a glutton, you can tell. The spamdemic hasn't been treating him well. Anyway. I was watching some D144. I was watching some of your stuff on YouTube earlier. I don't think I knew until today that you'd had content, so I went over, and usually if people that I like, because most of the chats, those people make my freaking third eye twitch. But some people I really connect with, and so I'll go look and see if they have content, and most people don't. But I didn't know you did, and then somebody said, so I went over there and looked today, and I was like, right on. Yeah, I could hang out with this guy. He'd like my cookies, That's what I miss, is just having buddies and just like telling stories and freaking laughing. The belly laughs, man. I miss belly laughs the most. I can think of like, a couple of times in my periods in my life where I've just, hung out with people just the right frequency that just, you guys get each other, and it's just, because I get a lot of people, but not a lot of people get me. It's kind of a one-way door. Oh, Mom didn't understand me a lot. But she did understand me more than most. Huh. Because she incubated me. She was my incubator. I was a little chick. She was my incubator. I don't know anybody else that could have handled being my mom. I don't know. Maybe she has 5 placements in Sagittarius. I think that when I got older, I don't know, she just always gave me the freedom to make my own mistakes. She never tried to save me from anything. You know, when I almost didn't graduate high school, she said, you know, every time I did it, you know, I'm not going to go to jail because you're truant. That's what just, that was always the thing. I bet I don't want to get in trouble because if I get in trouble, then there's going to be that kind of thing. But I don't know. I was mostly a good kid. I just, like, school was a nightmare for me because they never taught me anything I wanted to know. And then, see, I grew up in Northern California in Redding, and there's a lot of esoteric dark shit. Oh, somebody said in a chat, I said, esoteric? Woo, some people call it, like, all that other worldly stuff. Like, I don't know, depends on what you use it, but all that, like, it could be anything from witches and warlocks to, you know, like, all that to, like, you know, a bunch of women in a prayer circle. You know, it could be all that stuff, you know, powers that we can't see, but people believe in. That's what I look at it as. Yeah, but I always come up with my own definitions of words. Kind of thing. What they've come to mean to me. Yeah, so when I found Church of Religious Science when I was like 14, 15, and we did that. I remember meeting it at strip mall, and we do that. I didn't like it. Like, I quit going because they did stuff like that. Because I always taught that you don't play with stuff like that. That light as a feather, stiff as a board, all that stuff, you know. And you don't. God says don't do that. Don't dabble in that. And see, and that's the thing, is because it would be easy for me. If I was to fall into the dark side, it would have been a lot easier for me to be swayed, I think, as a youngin'. And all people had to do is like make me feel included, you know, like the gangs. That's why people join gangs and stuff. It's just because they want to. It's so crappy any place else that they just want to go someplace where they feel like, you know, they belong, right? And so, but what happened is Mom. We moved around a lot, and making friends has always been hard for me and stuff like that. Because people, as much as they say they like honest people, truthful people, they do until it happens to them, and then they don't. Oh, so Mom always taught me how to people aren't going to always be there for you in life, and you got to learn how to be there for yourself and rely and trust on God, and you know that God's going to help you get through whatever and all that. You know, you can't always rely on people. So, that's what I try to do, is I tried to learn how, you know, to use all the energy that I have in ways that are constructive, you know, and not destructive or destructive. And I'm seeing a whole world of people that aren't doing that. And people's their insides right now, it's just like the positive in them is being charged with the negative in them. So there's spark. So everyone's all, nee! What are they doing with it? You know? I gotta be careful not to talk too much crap, because that's what I can do with that extra energy. You know? I do. I gotta not, because I can talk a lot, and I'm loud, and that's not. God says don't do that. You know. Okay. You know, God is the only freaking thing I've ever been obedient for, and I ain't always been. When I was in the Air Force, I got a DUI when I was on base, and I had to go through this adapt thing. It was like it's like a 6-week like diversion type thing. No, it was where you talk about alcohol, drug awareness, ADA, prevention treatment, or something like that. It was like, It was on base. And it was like their diversion. When you get a DUI, you go through this program, and they said, through this program during the 6 weeks, we recommend that you don't drink. Well, like that and all other recommendations, I took it as just a recommendation that I didn't take. It's just, it's all about words. I don't drink anymore. Drinking removes my spirit, and then the wicked comes in, or the potential for the wicked comes in. I didn't even know about that. I didn't know that you could freaking sick, evil demonic freaking entities into people, and it freaking their lives will blow up. Because I don't care to freaking about anybody that I would spend that much energy and effort on to ruin their life, because people that act like jerks, that's enough. That's enough punishment. They act like jerks because they feel bad. I don't got to do nothing to add to it.
They're not comfortable with themselves.
Yes. Unassured, fearful people. Oh my gosh. I live in an ocean of them, and every time I go out into the world, I feel like I get hit by waves of dumbassery, because people riding bikes by themselves down the street, walking their dog by themselves down the street. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. Does not compute. It does not compute. Now the news, that's what the new storyline is. It's not, that's right, there is a new storyline. I stand corrected. It's not the virus itself anymore. Now it's the vaccines! Now it's, here, take this freaking magic elixir of whatnot, and we'll see what this does. And it's all for money, which cracks me up in itself, because economics is a made-up reindeer game. It's another one of those systems about who's in charge and how they feel that day. Oh, ultimately, if you're cool in the Air Force, you could do stuff like, when your enlistment's done, go into your file, get your Article 15, and put it in the trash. If you're cool, rules, regulations, what's that? But now that I'm a little bit older and I'm a little bit wiser, and I have removed more of the things that no longer serve me, and I am more obedient to God than I ever been, because I have just don't do that. And it's instant. The karmic retribution in my life is instant. I'm a jerk to somebody, that comes right back to me. Oh, it's always been like that for me. But now it's like God's like, nope, no, you can't. I haven't really heard the voice of God. He's always sent representation, I do believe. He a lot of times come up to me, and before our journey started and having to leave Oregon in October, we left on October 18th, 19th, something like that. Having to leave then, it was before that, so it was probably I don't know, it wasn't that long. There was an instance that I was in the backyard, and I was thinking about things that I had to do, not focusing on what I was doing, and then, so I wasn't being present. I got mad. I almost fell, hurt myself, and then there's it snowballed, and then I heard a ripple across the land that said, "Vengeance is mine." And I was like, no! I can't get mad. And I get mad. Or actually, I don't really get mad. I get frustrated, and I'm a passionate, loud person. So I can get worked up about stuff, and people are like, I'm scared! Just because they're so baseline, they're so duh. They don't know what passion is. They don't know what life force is. They don't know, because they don't got it in themselves. So anytime they see it in anybody else, it doesn't compute. That's scary to me. Huh? Right. Yeah, that muskrat. If you listen to Jesse Zaboter talks, or no, it was that other chick, that older lady. It was her. That dude's freaking evil, dude.
Older lady?
No, it was. I can't remember the older lady's name. I never heard of her before, but I guess she has a big following on YouTube and stuff. It was like, I don't know, she came from a place where they did terrible things too. Where she's seen terrible things, and it's the wicked, man. People with wicked hearts will just do whatever they want. And it's not, and people think, and most people are just like, most people are sober human beings, so there's a lot of people that drink, right? There's stoner, that stoner vibe, right? But then you have these personalities that do these freaking drugs that you lose your freaking mind, and you do things you don't care, and it's fun, and it's a party, and it's nasty, and it's gross what they do. And then now people have all recorded that stuff. Now everybody's holding it over everybody else, right? So you're gonna keep doing it, yeah, because you got to play along, or your number is up. Zach is everybody should know who Zach is. He's like you, D144. I would hang out with Zach, give him a cookie. It'd be fun to freaking cook food with Zach and sweet lady is what he calls his girlfriend. To cook a bunch of food, fresh veggies and stuff like that, because I know they eat good. But he's just. He talks about gematria, and he decodes a lot of what these people do. I started to do it when I was a kid, and then I got focused off, and I'm of the personality, I got to be careful with stuff like that, because I got too much other stuff I got to do that I can't put my attention into that, and I get sucked into stuff real easy. So stuff like that, I just got to leave to other people, because I will get caught up like a mofo. and I don't have that kind of time. Oh, Nathan? Okay, thanks, Nathan. Mom, Nathan said hi.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's cool because people are talking about how, well, the energies are, the potential for these energies come up often. There's like little pockets, little windows, and it's like when a lot of readers, however you want to define them, they read whatever they read, and then I read them. That's how I get my data, pretty much, right? And it's like there's times where people come together like-minded, And then, of course, there's time where there's a lot of people that are going their separate ways. There's a lot. We'll just say there's a lot of turnover. That's turnover. Things changing. The old ways, because the old ways aren't working anymore. Because you can only perpetuate a system riddled by disingenuousness and lies for so long, and there's an idea, heart space, of what supposedly this, I don't know. I'm kind of torn because I'm one of those Native American people, so it's like from the get-go, I think that a lot of the stuff that's happening now is the karma that has been built up from all these controllers that have been doing the gross stuff. And people say, there's good people in all these systems. There's You know, they're not all about, and unfortunately, I am of the mind that if there is so much nasty crap that's going on, people at least have to know about it. And if you're not saying something because you have to have it, you know, so all these bullcrap reasons to let evil exist, then you are part of the problem. All of them. All of the systems that, you know, all of the people that just ignored it or just let them go because of who they are, or just, you know, I was always the one that was like, I don't care who you are. Titles don't mean jack shit to me. They're little, you know how you gotta act in front of this person and that. Don't tell me that. I'll do the opposite. My brother hated it. I would embarrass him just for living when I was a little kid. First movie I ever saw was the 1977 version of Passions of Christ. I think it was 77. And it was in a little theater in Morro Bay, California. Before Mom escaped us. And the movie started and I got up in the aisle and I went and because I watched TV on my stomach. Looking up like this. And I laid in the aisleway and I watched the movie like that. And my mom and my brother, he's a couple years older than me, like 6. Mom, don't, you're not going to let her do that, are you? And you know what? Still acts like that. Only now he's a big lawyer high up in California government. You know? People think. And then so it's like, Marge, you can't. And he's the one that has said things to me. His program is entirely different. He's got the program. That's why he's living life large, because he went with the program and I never did. I followed my heart. So I got 4 dogs. Came a work from home daughter 4 years ago. I worked from the 3rd largest employer in the world was my last job in 2016. And things changed. You know, things changed. So, wouldn't change it. I mean, I wouldn't trade it. See, that's the thing, is because I started going with God's will. And it's when I live completely, I'm going to do this. I'm driven and I succeed and I do what I want. But I like me a lot better when I let God take the reins and I just kind of, okay, what do you want me to do? And every day I try and do the next right thing. Take care of my family and see if I can connect with some people from the heart out there in the world in some kind of capacity, you know.
Sometimes what?
In some kind of capacity.
Oh,
you know, whether it's on these videos or I go out in the world and yeah. It's funny, I walked out, I never said that the people take pictures of my van.
Of your what?
Of my van.
Oh, okay.
My truth speaking van. If you don't, I don't think you have to go be a member of Instacrap to look at people's pictures. I don't think, but if you look up at my Instacrap, there's a picture on I think it's on Twitter. I put one on Twitter too.
Is that really?
No, I make fun of the name, Mom. It's not what it's really called. Where is it? Oh, it was the first picture that I passed. Excuse me. That club soda, man. Oh, this guy. A guy named Willis Greiner, Greiner.
Griner?
Yeah, Green. See? Hooked on phonics. He's a photographer, storyteller, author. I came out of the store yesterday and he was taking a picture of the back of my, on the back it says, hey, Oka, hey. And then it says, smile, mask off in big old huge letters. And then in small it says, master stupid. And he was taking a picture. I'm like, so do you like what it says? And he's like, I don't know about that, but I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm like, go ahead, dude. Go ahead. Oh my goodness. I feel like there's a show that used to be on the 80s called Erie, Indiana.
What was it?
Erie, Indiana.
Oh, that was on TV?
Yeah, on Sunday nights. It was a very... and then so it's just like, everything's always... I mean, I don't know. My life has never been mainstream. I've never lived the life that the majority of... Even I've lived... There's like the kids that are divorced, and then there's our story. It's weird. I don't know. We've had a wild, wild tale. And God's gotten us through every single butt of it.
You should write all this down.
I hate writing, Mom, and I hate typing even more. That's why I talk on these videos. It's the same thing to me.
Even if you're
Spirit Tree Revival, I've been looking for you. Where you been? You taking a break? A lot of people are taking a breaks. A lot of people don't want to do it no more. Whatever it is, there's a lot of people that have like consistently done something that they think that they're going to get a result out of. And then, yeah, that's why it's amazing that I've been able to do these videos over 4 years, because doing the same thing, that stuff is like, no. That stuff drives me crazy. You do that enough for both of us. Well, what I mean is, that did not sound right. Is that because my mom likes her patterns and her daily routine, she has enough routine that I live in her routine too, that I like to go off script from time to time. How's that? Better? Because there's just so many different potentials of how life could be. And sometimes I just want to try them. I went for a little drive today. It takes me 20 minutes. I left, it was like 3 o'clock. I got back, it was like 3:24 or something like that. It took me that long to drive from one end of the town to the next. But that's what it feels like. Evidently, this town draws people to it. It's the mountains, the blood of Christ mountains, that it summons people to it.
From all over.
From everywhere. All over the place. Some people are pretty cool. That's why I like meeting. That's why I was like, you know what? When I thought, and this fits into what I wanted for us, is to live in a place, like, I thought it was going to be Northern California. I wanted it to be Northern California, but God didn't. God had a different plan for us. So I wanted it to be there, but a place where people like to come and visit, where I can get exposure and get a, feel about other places without having to travel to these places. And if we, if I like it enough, then I'll look into it. Maybe, these are places that I can travel to. That's how I think of it. And this is one of those places, and it's a real spot. And now it's just like there's no businesses, and it's been run by the same ideology like every other small podunk town in USA. Podunk, yeah. It's just, this is how it's always been, so this is how we're gonna do it. And these, all the police, all the first responders, they're all getting brand new cars, fleets of cars.
Trying to update
They're trying, but the thing is like, the readiness of these first responders are so crap. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. And then I can get, I don't get mad. I used to get mad. I'm like, because they used to I had to go to the gym. These fat guys would tell me I had to go to the gym to work out. I never saw them there. But I got off of it, and I ended up, freaking winning awards, squadron and all this stuff, and I did good stuff. They knew I was never going to stay in more than 6, because from the get-go I knew it was a bunch of shit. And a lot of people join the military because they have no other options. And then they get caught up, but it's a steady paycheck. People, not everybody that joins the military. You know, it used to be an option that for freaking, instead of go to jail, you go to the military. You know? And I don't want to get started on anyway. I'm going to just stop that right there. Oh, so now that I'm not going to Albert Scum's anymore. Albert Scum's. Albert Scum. Albert Scum's shitty grocery store chain that their prices are way too high anyway. I went to this other store and got Mom some, because they didn't have Tillamook ice cream at this other store. So they got this other kind. And it has less ingredients, which I think is better, you know. And it's made in Texas, which is closer. And Mom likes it better, and it's $2 less. So yeah. Mom just had her first bowl a little while ago. Oh yeah. As long as it's light and it's smooth. That's what the criteria have to be. It's got to be light or smooth. That's what keeps Mom nice and happy. Anyway. It's good to see you, Spirit True Revival. Exactly! When you think the lady doesn't put the mask on her kids for not abusing them. Exactly, Freedom Seeds. Exactly. I thumbs up every person that well, no, that's not true. Not every person. Not when I drive. But, you know, I thumbs up. I make a point to acknowledge the maskless, you know. It's just, and what did I write on Facebook today? It was, ooh, Zach's on right now. It's not live, though. On just today on Facebook. I hate Facebook. It's less about mask and all to do with being free to choose. If you don't get that, unfriend me. Please. Just let me go. Just let me go. You can't save me. Let me go. You can't save me. I cannot be saved. I am too into freedom and liberties and faith in God. The fearful will have no chance to have me in their clutches. Anyway, that's about all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace. I'll see you in Zach's chat. I know he's gonna do something later. Oh wait, it's Sunday. He might be special dinner in it with the sweet lady. That's nice.